Oh my goodness, am I that early? No one else is here.
Well, there's
Oh,
minutes to go. Hey, Jackie.
oh, there's Jackie.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Sorry, I'm eating.
Hi,
No,
Jackie.
fine. Welcome, welcome. It's so good to see you again, Jackie.
Yeah. It's good, Bronte.
So good. Yeah. Cool.
I've had an easygoing morning. I went off to the doctor's and then realised when I got there it was supposed to be a phone consult. So that was fine. I just said to her, well, I've come to see your lovely face instead.
Oh, wow. How
So
fun.
did you have to, were you allowed to stay in the surgery?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was fine.
That's
So,
good.
yeah, I got to see her and then came home.
Good.
Sat in the amazing sun for a while. It's beautiful out there.
It does look
Yeah.
gorgeous.
It's pretty good here too.
21 today. Supposed to be here.
Yeah.
It's a heat wave.
Are you actually in Adelaide, Stella?
Yes, I'm in the north of Adelaide, near Salisbury.
I'm not sure where Salisbury is, but
Yeah. Yeah, it's just about 20 minutes from Adelaide.
okay.
Mm.
And Adelaide's not that big, really, is it?
No, it's a baby, really, when you're talking about cities.
Cities,
Mhm.
yeah. Capital cities.
But it's big enough for me.
Yeah. Hey, Angie.
Hey, how are we?
Good, how are you?
Hi, Angie.
Hi, girls. Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Good.
I had a Zoom call earlier and I said, gotta go. I've got somewhere to be.
Our entire lives are on
doing-
Zoom now.
We were doing mediumship practice.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, so I said, nah, gotta go. Sorry.
That would have been great fun.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Sometimes it is. I didn't really get anything today. I don't think my mind was really on the job today.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I've got the heater on. It's a bit fresh.
Yeah, I was going to put the heater on. I thought, Bronte, if you're going to put the heater on, go put a jumper on.
Yeah. Well, I've got my rug on my knee, my jumper and my heater on, so.
Wow.
I've got the rug on the knee too.
Yeah.
Good. All right. So welcome. It's 12 o'clock and we're recording, and this is our fourth and final call for Prosperity Consciousness, which is just absolutely flown.
Yes.
Hey, Hannah.
Hi.
Yeah, so it's just incredible, really. But I'm super stoked to be here with you all. Hey, Shan. Joanna, if you can just put yourself on mute, that would be awesome. Cool. All right. So I gave you a bit of a rundown in our Facebook group yesterday about what today will include. So I'll just read through that and then we'll open the space. So we will be having a DNA activation, which will be helping to stabilize prosperity consciousness in your everyday. So it's like you get to experience that higher consciousness in your everyday, and we'll be doing that through a DNA activation. Hey, Em. Welcome. So we'll be doing that. I've given myself quite a task today, and I'm going to be sharing my experiences of the differences between prosperity consciousness, unity consciousness, and Christ consciousness. So we'll see how that goes. How to put words to energy. It's always a battle, but I'm going to give it a crack. And I'm just also going to give you some additional techniques to support your inner work with your poverty consciousness stories. I'm here for Q&A, which we had a lot of that last time. So that in the last call. Hello, is that Bella? Hey, Bella. Yeah, so this is also a good chance for you to ask the questions that you have. And I think we will most definitely go for the 2 hours unless there's nothing else to say. But I'm here for the next 2 hours because I know a lot wanted to come through in the last call. So I'm most definitely open to being available for the 2 hours today. Yeah. And I will also share about my new course, Light Intelligence, which has been I just love this so much. Part of probably, one of the most, my most favorite parts to working is bringing the next course through. It's just, I just love it so much. So that's what I've been bathing in this morning and last night. So I'll share more about Light Intelligence, and you guys will get a discount to go into that. I'm going to ask you to answer some questions and give me feedback basically on prosperity consciousness. So moving forward, I can improve this course for the next round. And anything else that wants to come in through our session. So that's today. Okie dokes. So if you have lit a candle or got your code with you, then that's a wonderful kind of surrender into being here in prosperity consciousness. And if you haven't got either of those, then you've got your heart, which is the most important part to this process. Everyone's maneuvering, getting prepared. Awesome. All right. So just allowing yourself to arrive here. You can close your eyes if you'd like and keep your eyes open. And just seeing if you can bring more of your body here. You can use some deep breaths here, some sighs. See if you can bring more of your weight into the chair. It's almost like you're surrendering into the now. Recollecting all of your energies from this morning. Recalling all parts of you from all angles, directions, events, scenarios, conversations. Bringing them all here into your heart space, into your body, into your essence. And just creating that lengthening spine now, connecting to your central light column here, that beautiful column of light that resides in the center of your field, that holds you and connects you to the beautiful heart grid of the earth. Just following down through that central light column, down through your root chakra, your earth star chakra, down, 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 down. As you connect in, plug in, lock in, anchor, drop into the heart grid of the earth. Kianai Shinamai Dai. Just noticing how that feels to be in connection and in communion with the earth. And then welcoming her feedback, welcoming her love, her guidance, her support, her energy to come through your field of light. Allowing yourself to receive her beauty through your column of light, through your body, through all parts of you, into your heart space, sending right through your body and filling your entire field, expanding, opening, surrendering, letting go. So you become one with her. Now coming into your heart space and finding that there is a direct column of light that moves between your heart and the stars, Father Sky, the rest of the universe, the rest of the multiverse, the rest of consciousness itself. Hai nai shina na nai shikamayan tai shitatai shikdeya. Kiana, kiana nai shinaya papoy shinaya. Koini shinaya mapai kinea. Just allowing yourself to be open with your arms wide open to the beauty and love of the stars, the magic that comes with Father Sky. The magnificence. And as you marvel with his presence, the medicine of the sun, as you love, honor, cherish, embrace Father Sky, just allow yourself now to receive his love, noticing how his light is showering upon you. Noticing how that feels in your heart space to be in divine connection with the stars. And resting in your heart space now is that communion and union of the Father and the Mother in your heart space. Just noticing how that feels to have that unity consciousness in your heart space. That place of connection with the earth and stars. And mentally repeat after me. I command, I move into a state of prosperity consciousness. Noticing what's shifting, what's arriving, what you can feel. Feeling grateful for how life is presenting in this now moment. Looking all around through your body and through your field of light. Allowing your heart to open even more using one conscious breath in and out through the mouth. Opening, surrendering, letting go, being more open to more light, an even higher frequency of light. Surrender, trust, open, and breathe. This is your place. This is more of what you are. This is where your essence lies. This is the freedom that's available to you in your everyday. Kena shinaya boy shinanai shkinaya tatai kena. Kukoina mai kinai papai shinan tatai shinate kene maye. Kukoina shina papai kene tatai shkitai tatai papai kinea sia. Koina mai kanai papai shina tai shitatai shipapoy kne sina tatai koina ye sina ye. Koina mai shina tai shina tai kine papai shina tatai shia tai hiana kia tatai shipapoy nai shina ye. Keke nai papoy shina shitatai shitapoy titita shina ye tatai kina papoy shina tatai shina nai shia. Kokoinai papai shinea tatai shia tatai kinai shitai papai shida shitai shipapoi nai. Pia nai shina tai ka papai shina ai nai tatai katai papai shina papai nai shia tatai tai papai tatai. Koi nai apai dai nai ki anai tatai shia papai shua nai sinaka tatai shia bai nai siana tai nai nai han sina tatai papai shia nai. Poi nai kanaya sina nai shina tata ata shina papai shina tatai shina tatai shina papai shina nai kanaya tatai kina Kukoi nai katai papai shina tatai shit ai nai papai shina ai sina tatai shina boy nai shit tatai shina tatai shina tatai o papai ti tatai shina Koi. I met voit I ship I said I that up I said I papa she the air that I should the air but I should that I should the air and I should the air and that I should boy she. Koina mai shina that I can right snap boy shina ear taxi that way she the I should the she about she the air taxi that I should the air but I should the air that I should the air. Koina shina ihana shida tsepa shida yeah sid krik I sigida tata shida baba shida Kina mai shina tata shi baba shina shida katik shida shida tata shida tata shida tata shida Kina mai kanai sina kanai papai shida tata shida tata shida tata shida tata shida ba ihana shi and sia da I papai shida papai shida tata shida papai shida tata shida tata Kina mai shida ekta Kina mai shida ekshne tata shida papai shida nata shida Kina mai shida papai shida oishida papai shida tata shida Koina mai nai shina tatai papai shidi papai shi nai shina tatai shine nai kanai mo shina tai ketapai shine tatai shide papai nini shidi ai tatai shidi tatai papai tika shina tatai kire ba Koina mai signa ya tatai shine tatai shiki papai shide tatai shide uxtige tspue shide papai shide tatai shide tatai kena mo shide Koina mai tai papai ai ne sina tatai kena mo shine tai sina tatai shide papai shide tatai shide papai shide tatai kne o shine papai shine tatai shide tai kena mo shide papai shide Kian boys na tai shina ba shine nandai kine mai sina kanaya isina ba boy kine mai Mai kina mai over boishne, knia by shine skidava boishine, ea to taiskid, ea to taiskid, over boishide, ea to taiskid, ea to taiskid, ea. Koina mai shine, ea sing I about why shide. Koina mai shine, ea to taiskid, ea to taiskid, ea to boishid, ea to taiskid, ea to taiskid, ew. Puina mai shine that I should air, but should bo a kind of my shit air, and I should air my boy should air, sin I see that the hiana motion of my shit air, take my motion, or see that I see a boy should air, and I should air. Kera mai shina that I can air, my shina air, and I should air, and I should take the good shit that I should always be shit air, that I should air, that should air, but see that I have a by shina air, and an idea. Kuna mai kine sinai katai boboishide eatakshide ea mayeshne. Kina mai sinai kane. Kina mai. And starting to notice how your body's responding and just being in that heartfelt presence of what's here. Allowing your light to combine with the light of everyone else in prosperity consciousness, creating a dome of light together in circle. Arriving in our fullness, in our power, grounded, connected, anchored, and held by these higher grids of light in the earth and stars. Plugged in through our heart. Plugged in through our hearts. Giving thanks to each other for being here live or watching the replay. Giving thanks for the energies that are here. Giving thanks to your guides, if that's how you work with energy. Giving thanks to the essence of who and what you are, this magnificent light, its pure potential, power and potency. Where freedom and peace is available in the now. And gradually coming back into the physical surroundings, connecting into the room that you're in, connecting into your body again in a more physical way. And as you're opening your eyes, connecting into these energies that are here, still here with your eyes open. Putting your attention on the space in the room. Putting your attention on the codes of light that are in your field that take up the room that you're in. That's your field. Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'd love to hear from you all. I'd love to hear how you are today and what you've uncovered about prosperity consciousness and what it means to you and how it's been showing up in your world, and perhaps how your connection and your awareness of poverty consciousness is in your life, along with prosperity consciousness, and how you're becoming a master in your observations of prosperity consciousness and poverty consciousness, and what shifted for you. And also, I'd love to know any areas that you're stuck, any areas that you're something not landing, or you just feel stuck, or you're not sure, or you've got questions. Feel free to bring those in as well. So I'll put down the talking stick and I'll hand it over to you all.
Do we put our hands up? What do we do?
Yep, just come in. That's enough, Joanna.
Okay. I was wondering about how prosperity consciousness has activated a whole lot of other stuff and how come they come together? Is it just because we become expansive and come into our potential of expansion?
Yeah, great question, Joanna. Can you tell me a little bit more about what's happening, like what's opened up for you?
So there's been a whole lot of stuff that I think I've done for a long time in the clinic, but I didn't have any conscious control over and not as much awareness of. And since activating prosperity consciousness, I am much more conscious of what other helpers are in the room with me. I can hear what they tell me to do. I can activate energy in different ways without needles that I kind of used to do, but now it just happens. Yeah, there's so many different things, actually. Like, you know, the weird stuff.
By weird, you mean awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I put it down to that too. Yeah, because the work that you're bringing through now is at a higher consciousness. So, you know, when you're activating prosperity consciousness, when you're, you know, by you kind of joining this course, it's like, yes, I'm bringing this into my life. So it's almost like you said, the green light's on. Yes, heart expansion. Your kind of foundational consciousness is higher, it is lighter, and so yes, it is easier just to pull in this higher frequency work, and then, you know, the higher consciousness you experience, the more multi-dimensionality that you are experiencing. So that, you know, that is no surprise to me, that you're basically retrieving more of your gifts, more of your eternal gifts, and yeah, I love that. I love that there is more conscious awareness. Like it's probably not a surprise to you that you can do all of these things now, but it's like more of a embodied. Is it more like an embodied, I know that I do that right now. I know that happens, and I know that I can do that.
Yeah, and I can choose to do it. Like,
yeah.
Actually, and it just happens, but I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
I probably could say no if I didn't want to, but it just all feels right to do so.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was kind of accidental. Maybe I just got zone occasionally and then it would happen, but not like every time I was treating.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And then the choice does become more clear, because when you're in poverty consciousness, it feels like there is no choice. It's like, this is just how life is. It's shit. It's not working. And then when you have this thread, you know, but it's more than a thread. It kind of feels like a flood or a consistent tap of higher consciousness feeding through your system. Then that really does help you to see life from a higher perspective, where you have the choice. You know, you have that higher path, or, you know, you can see the different timelines. Yep, I could choose that, and that will send my afternoon that way, or I could choose that, and, you know, I can reap the benefits of feeling alive right now. Yeah. All right, thanks, Jo. I'll put the talking stick down.
I've just written a few things down. I'm not very good at articulating my things that well, but anyway, during that session that you did, that was like, I'm bawling at the heart opening, and the gratitude for that was just huge. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for that. In myself, I've noticed I'm becoming more aware of my own needs and my determination to be here for me and nobody else. Well, not nobody else, but me first. I'm noticing my ideas are flowing. I've got little ideas scooting around everywhere. and I'm working on sort of putting them together. My motivation's increased. I'm getting more connection with the spirit realm. More animals have started coming to me. I don't know whether I said this last session, but I had a horse come to me during the night, telling me that the owner's going to contact me soon, and this is the information you need to tell her, which was pretty cool. And I have had that before, but yeah, it's pretty cool that they can just drop in and say, hey, this is me. This is what I want you to tell them. And so, yeah, and I just feel so much openness to, you know, being open to everything. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. Thank you.
My lovely people. Can you hear me? Yep, good. That indeed was a lovely light language session, Ronti. And I too had tears, Angie. And my heart felt very open. And at the end, when you said it was finishing and you said to open your heart, and then you changed it to hearts, and I was like, of course we've got more than one heart. That makes so much sense. And I'm very happy today because my husband just sent me a text to tell me he'll be coming home on the 18th of June. So that will be so nice because it's been so long since I've seen him. Anyway, as the course, I feel like a complete fraud because all I've done is listen to the lives, and I haven't gone back and listened to them. I haven't checked the light code. I haven't done anything. I haven't even watched the last session because it took me so long to work out how to get a Dropbox. But I know that what I've done is what I've done, and that might have been all I needed to do, or I might have just been a bit of a slacker, whatever. But whatever it is, it's fine. And then I beat myself up about it again. But hey. But yes, it's been very wonderful, even if I haven't realised exactly how. Anyway, that's me. Thanks, Bronte.
Jackie, I'll just jump in. Would you like me to email you the last session?
I worked out how to get it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, I'll pick up the talking wand. Don't really know what I'm going to say or how I'm going to say it, but let's just go with that. What's opened up for me? The biggest thing that has opened up for me is me trusting the truth in my heart. And I don't know if the timing has just been I don't know. I really don't know. But a lot's opened up for me over the last 2 months. I think that's what I can say. And the activations that have happened during these past, is it 6 weeks or so? 4 weeks, okay. Wow. Yeah. I've accessed my heart again. I've found where it is. I've found the truth in it. I've found my worth. And absolutely, I know having the support of this group and being in like a safe container, I feel, even though the fortnightly calls, I just have felt that safe container throughout the whole space of these weeks. And yeah, I know that that's certainly helped. Certainly helped with what's been going on for me. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm not even really sure what I've said, but anyway, we'll go with that. Thank you all. Thank you.
For me, I'm pretty much very similar to Shan, where it took me about 3 weeks to realize that it was actually my heart that I found. I didn't realize that was it, because I hadn't felt it before. And now I realize that it is it. It's incredible. So many things have been happening. I feel more, I'm alert more, I feel more. That's the biggest one. I feel everything now. I'm not numb to the world. I'm not numb to myself. I used to be incredibly numb to myself with everything, especially feelings and grief and pain. Spiritually, I've opened up a lot and I've enjoyed that, but I've rejoiced myself more. It has. It's been a huge gift. It really has. Something I've never felt in 50 years, I finally found. And I am so elated, but still finding my feet as well, still navigating and taking it gentle, being gentle with myself, and taking the time to work out who I am, because I haven't known in all this time what this heart is, what it can do, and how does it feel in different situations with different things. So I thank you for that gift, Bronte. It's a beautiful gift to have. That's me.
Well, I feel very humbled actually to sit and hold space for everyone, especially with all the heart opening. It's a really obviously a common theme for everybody, which is pretty special, just to have that feeling of expansion that everybody's experienced, which is really lovely. For me, I guess the biggest thing is on a tangible level that's been happening is time is warping. So I have been having a lot of experiences where normally time would run away and I wouldn't have any time. And now suddenly time is like, literally, I feel like an hour is 2 hours long. Like somehow I managed to fit in a huge amount of things to a, you know, and I look at the clock and I'm like, oh, okay, that was like 20 minutes, which would normally take me an hour, and that's constant, like every day, all the time, which is really exciting because it's not something that I've tried to do. It's just naturally happening, and I just seem to be noticing that more. So that's exciting. And then just from a practical perspective, I feel like I live more in the space. It's not an effort now to notice what's going on. So even when things are popping up, like last time we were talking about that feeling of trying really hard with my business and lots of things like that, the stuff is still there, it still pops up, but it doesn't actually, it's not that it doesn't affect me, but I don't buy into the story anymore. I just come straight into my heart space and I'm like, oh, look, there's that thought or feeling, and being able to just hold space for that and experience it, but not actually feel like it controls me or there's a fear around it, or you know, it just is an experience, and that's pretty much, again, becoming a regular daily, you know, every time I feel myself going into something, I just kind of sit and go, well, you've got two choices. You can either choose that, which is actually funny I'm saying that because I remember that initial meditation, I saw those two pathways. I hadn't actually thought about it again. But yeah, those two roads, and it was like, oh, they're kind of, you have the choice. And I feel like now I'm so aware of the stuff that it's easier to choose, you know, the pathway of going into the heart space and finding that expansion. Yeah, so they're probably the biggest things for me.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, everyone, for arriving so openly and authentically. I love this beautiful common thread of heart, because when I was preparing for today, I thought that's the essence of what I really want to bring today. I just want to remind you that it is the heart. You know, prosperity consciousness isn't something that you can read about, and I guess this is why it needed to be an experiential course where we felt it, and you know, what you've received is enough, you know, and it is perfect, and it is divine. So yeah, for me, I've learned so much more about prosperity consciousness itself, just being in this space, and yeah, I'm feeling really grateful that you've been here to like, it's almost like you're reflectors. It's almost like I'm seeing myself in you. I'm seeing myself in you. Yeah, that way. Yeah. And I can see a lot of beauty. So that's just wonderful on both accounts. Cool. So yeah, like I think it's already been said, but basically I just want to, you know, whenever you get lost, so I'm going to go back a bit actually. prosperity consciousness is a state of consciousness. So, you know, it's not, the more that you open your heart, the more you will fall into this state of prosperity, and comes unity and Christ consciousness as well. And I'm sure there's a whole other array of these higher levels of consciousness as well, but I'm going to speak around these three. And so I think it's different to this idea of, I'm going to do these things to get myself into this state or into this place. And sure, that works for some people. And yes, I also know how valuable it can be, like, you know, going for a run. It kind of gets me into a better state. Reading rather than scrolling my phone, you know, they can be all really powerful, but I feel like there's less of a requirement for us to hustle into prosperity consciousness or like scurry and look for it, when all you have to do is come to the heart space. And I love that you've all experienced that if you just need one step, the one step is to go to your heart. Yeah. Because so the other, you know, the value of this prosperity consciousness code that I have here is just palpable on my desk. But at the same time, we can be reaching towards, you know, we could reach towards the meditation, or we could reach towards the code, or we could reach towards, you know, someone who's speaking about prosperity consciousness, but for you to experience it, it is in the heart. I think it might have been Emily. Did you ask about prosperity consciousness being, no, unity consciousness being the pathway to prosperity consciousness? Oh, was that you, Joanna? Yes, it was. That's right. Okay, and the answer that I channeled through was similar to what I understood. So that being that prosperity consciousness is the pathway to unity consciousness. So it's almost like, it feels like this course is the first step. It feels like it's the foundation to opening to higher levels of consciousness. And that's why, you know, I was surprised business-wise that I was to do this course, but now it makes so much sense, because it's like the foundation level of accessing these higher consciousnesses. I did it. Yes, I got there. So it almost feels like, you know, if you can visualize your heart as a lotus flower, so the more that it opens, and the more, if you can think of the toric field that, you know, goes out and in like the donut shape, and it comes through your heart space, and like the more that you are surrendering and letting go with your one conscious breath, the more that you're opening to these higher states of consciousness, the more light that you can experience. And then of course, when you're experiencing that, that is you, because, you know, we can kind of see ourselves as very limited, stuck, or not so much stuck, but like not malleable, not adaptable, not flexible. But when we, you know, the more connection we have with consciousness itself, with our own experience, our own internal experience in this higher state of consciousness, then we realize that we are less of the identity that the mind has said that we are, and that we're more just this momentary experience. So, and then if you put yourself in a place of prosperity consciousness, in that state of prosperity, then you are emitting, you are giving, you're emitting a frequency and a message to the universe, basically, that you are of a higher potential. So you can access what you want. You can be what you want. You can say what you want. You can do what you want. And it's almost like the lid, like the roof has been taken off your home, because it's like, actually, there's no limitations here. You can just be what you desire. So now what I'm going to do is go back to, you know, how I feel in prosperity consciousness, how I feel in unity consciousness, and how I feel in Christ consciousness. So, yeah, and with that, I really feel like there's a stepping stone there. And at the same time, I don't want us to be too stuck on the levels, because the mind loves the levels. And, you know, it's similar to 3D, 5D. You know, yes, there's a lot of information around that right now, but the way I see it is that why would we limit ourselves between 3 and 5D when we have access to so much more than 3 and 5D and 4D? So prosperity consciousness for me feels like a sense of freedom and flow, and it feels fluid, and it feels connected to I'm laughing. Why did I make myself do this? It feels like my heart is open, and it feels like I can access all things. I'm going to leave that there. Now I'm going to go to unity. Okay, so unity consciousness, actually, do I want to go back to prosperity consciousness? If I could put one word on I was going to say, if I could put one word on prosperity consciousness, it would be freedom. I'm just going to stick with that for now. Okay, so now I'm going to move into unity consciousness. Okay, so this is more about a coming home. So prosperity consciousness is more about expanding outward. Unity consciousness to me is all about coming home. So rather than, you know, meditation, we experience these higher consciousnesses, a higher state of consciousness. But unity consciousness is actually allowing all parts of ourselves to come down into the earth and bring all parts of ourselves to here, to the now. So when we have that idea that we need to be in a higher state of consciousness, we're actually there is a level of trying to escape what is here. We're like trying to get to a higher state of consciousness, because right now this is dense, and it's rigid and stuck, and I don't like it, and I need to fix it, and I need to get out of here. Unity consciousness is bringing the light to the dark. So rather than going to the light, unity consciousness is coming down and being in the light and the dark, in the male and the female, in the yes and the no, in the resistance and the expansion. And the unity, you know, when you're unifying both the light and the dark, when you are coming to the density, when you're surrendering to the density, you're basically saying yes to this life. You're saying yes to you. You're saying yes to this moment. You're saying, I'm here. I am here. I'm present. I'm fully here. And when you say that you're fully here, I know it could be in a relationship, or it could be in playing with the kids on the floor, or it could be looking at your bills. It could be like the anxiety that you're feeling about seeing a particular person. When you're like fully surrendering to the feelings and the sensations, which is what the inner work, that's part of the inner work that you've been doing, to really like be here with the sensations. When you say yes to fully being here, there is a state of clarity. I'm just going to say that. It's almost like there's nothing. The past falls away and the future falls away. And there is just here, right now. It's like pristine, crystalline clarity. Because there's no planning about what I need to do to fix things. There is no trying to change the past. Like the past doesn't even exist. The future doesn't even exist. It's just here. How am I going? Yeah, so basically the more that you go towards the thing that you are trying to avoid, like as an example, what I've been doing is, you know, oh yeah, ever since I started doing the DNA activations, I had this story. Oh my gosh, for me to do these DNA activations, I have to be like high vibrational. I have to be high frequency. What if I can't sustain this high light? So I was like chasing the highlight. I was like trying to keep myself up high. And it was a reminder. It was another lesson for me to go, come down, come down, come down. And, you know, part of the Light Intelligence course is about coming down to sit, to be seated in your power, which is in the sacral, which of course is in the light and the dark. It is in the male and the female. It is in unity. Yeah, love it. Shan, yep. As Shan said, I felt that when I cleared out all of my past journals, etc., and burnt them all. Exactly. Yeah, it's like it's just dissolved. Yeah, it's cleared. Hannah said, after the private DNA activation session, I felt this drop into self. It is more present and less airy-fairy than PC. Yes, I agree. My gosh, we're making sense of this. That's so good. Because the mind wants to make sense of it. We're so funny, aren't we? Like trying to put it into words and labels. But, you know, I think talking about it is maybe, perhaps, it's activating some more pathways for all of us. So it's like the peace, unity consciousness is the peace in the presence, like fully being here. Can you tell me where the Pleiadians fit in all of this? Well, I mean, they're light bearers, they're light keepers, they're supporting us to experience these higher codes of light, these higher dimensions of light. It's like they're like giving us tastes of what's available and what's possible. They're supporting us, but at the same time, you know, I really do get this message from them that it's like don't be Pleiadians when you're humans. You know, like we're in the driver's seat. We're in the most powerful place right now. You know, we can aspire to be like the Pleiadians, but here, you know, we have the magnificence and the magic and the medicine of the earth, which too we'll be working in Light Intelligence with, because, you know, they don't have access to what we have access to. So when we're combining the codes of light from the stars and the earth, then again, that's a unification. So they're a part of it, but then they're not center stage. Your heart, you are center stage. You as the human being is the center stage. Feel free to come off mute if you want to.
I just found out that from my teacher in New York that Lady Way's teacher is from the Pleiades constellation.
Yeah.
What, I don't even know anything about it, but yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so this is just another pathway that you can go to, Hannah, and it can be as simple as just commanding. You know, you want to create open communication with the Pleiadians so you can receive clear messages from them. That's all it needs to be. Yeah, put some solfeggio tones on, or you know, some music that does the thing for you. and meditate, journal the messages, or even get your voice recorder out. Who are they?
I don't know anything.
Sorry. No, that's okay. Okay, so the Pleiadians are the light beings that are from the star cluster called the Pleiades, which is the Seven Sisters. You may have heard of the Seven Sisters. Yeah, so they're a race. Yeah, and so they are a part of the seeding on the planet here in as for humans. So, yeah, please jump in, anyone. But the way I see it is that the Pleiadians help to seed the Lemurians, and the Lemurians are now they're living in the Earth as 5D. And they are in direct communication with the Pleiadians to support the activation and ascension of Earth, which includes us. Yeah, so they're like our partners. They're the people they're the beings who are like spotting us as we're rock climbing. Yeah. Does anyone else want to add anything there?
I suppose the only other thing to kind of note with all of this is that all of us as light workers have this within us. So most of us will be carrying starseed energies within us. So you could be from the Pleiades as a being, like you actually, I guess that's for me where you start to step up the higher energy levels. You know, it's like a remembering, like you start to come home, you feel that sense of, oh, I remember that I'm not human. You know, we are human because we're in this body, but we're actually just a consciousness. And that consciousness is having an experience like here, right now. But actually, as you expand and as you go into those higher consciousnesses, then you're actually starting to remember that this is just an experience, and actually you probably have a job, not a specific job, but you're here to help with the ascension of the planet, essentially. So even though the Pleiadian Council that sits up, like Bronte said, they're not even, like, we're so special because we're actually here. Like, we are so blessed because we get to do the work, whereas they're kind of sat up, you know, in the Galactic Federation, like actually sharing the information, but we're the ones that get to do this stuff on the planet right now, which is super exciting. So all the work you do and all the people you talk to and all of this opening of the energy is actually just expanding the awareness collectively, you know, because as you talk to people, you're activating things within them. They're starting to remember, and it's like a, you know, a kind of ripple effect. That's kind of my understanding, is that, you know, most of us that are, well, everyone here that's on this course is, you know, is carrying that information within them. And it's just a question of, as you grow and expand, that becomes, you know, part of your knowingness and, you know, your evolution, I guess, as a being.
Thanks, Anne. Beautiful. You articulated that so beautifully. And I think it really does help to know that you have that seed of that that lineage through in your system. So because if you see yourself as Pleiadian, as with Lemurian roots, if you see your origins from Sirius, you know, and this is not about just like choosing something out of the sky. You're actually, and we will be doing this in light intelligence too, realizing your origins. And so it's what Emily was saying is we're not like learning from outside of us. We're actually just retrieving what's already within us. So it's almost, it's a remembering exactly what Emily said. Yeah. Yep.
And just to be clear about that, we're not all necessarily Pleiadian either. So there are lots and lots and lots of different races. So just, you could be from several too, actually. So you could have many different aspects. So you might end up feeling drawn to work with lots and lots of different beings. So the Pleiades is just one that at the moment it seems to be really prominent because it's a lot of people are channeling that energy. But yeah, you could channel anything. So.
Yeah, perfect. What else was I going to say then? What did you just say, Emily? Oh, that you could be, yeah, each.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, it's gone. It just came back and then it's gone again. Oh God. Yeah. All right, we'll let that one go. It just came back again. Oh. Ah, yes, thank you. So the Pleiadians are supporting us so closely because our evolution is dictating and influencing their evolution. So that's why they're so present, because they can't ascend until we've ascended. So we're a part of, we all have, this is kind of within the multiverse, we're all working together. So, yeah. That's why they're so invested in us right now. Yeah. Cool. All right. Now, oh yeah. Okay, cool. So, unity. Yeah, it's about being here, present, fully surrendering to the now in the physical. Pretty much saying yes to life, and as a result you feel more alive. So the more you kind of resist life, the more disconnected you are. The more you say yes to life as it is, then you find the freedom that you've been looking for elsewhere. So it's like the freedom isn't out there. When you resist everything, it's more here. So the more that you find yourself resisting something, so for me, this is a flu shot that I am looking like I have to have by Friday to go and see my pa, who's had a heart attack and he's just going to come out of hospital. So, you know, this is really work. This is what it looks like on the ground level. Seeing that I have a choice, seeing that, you know, I can write letters and I can have the flu shot and then energetically take it out of me, or I can not go and see him, whatever it is. You know, we all have these choices here, and what is important for me is to come down into my body when I'm feeling this surge of anger or fear or whatever else is coming up, frustration. Yeah, so that's a physical kind of human example. Okay, now, oh yeah, you can. Yeah, that's right, true. Except he's 93, he doesn't know how to use Skype. All right, so now Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness I experienced for the first time a few weeks ago, and I saw the flower of life that was really prominent, and also the seed of life, and it was this really kind of pink, vibrant, warm, glowing, almost like I was in a room where you know, when you go into an ambient space and it's warm and you can feel the energies like really gentle and beautiful and loving. It's kind of like that's what life was like. And it's almost like what I experience is the more that you kind of move into these new higher states of consciousness, it's almost like another layer is being taken away, another layer is being taken away, another layer is being taken away. So you're more kind of open to the peace and the stillness that is with being with it all. It felt light, you know, it feels like inspiring, but that doesn't seem to cut it. Like uplifting is the word. It's uplifting. It feels uplifting. So it's like there's more space in my body. There's more space in general. I feel lighter. That's probably a better way to describe it. More free, and like things just wash off, dissolve, you know, which you will have all experienced with prosperity consciousness, that when you're embodying this state of prosperity, then the stories just seem to wash off like water off a duck's back, or they dissolve a lot quicker, or you realize that you don't need to do so much inner work to kind of unhook you from the story. It's just like passing through. It does feel up here, Christ consciousness, to me. It feels like the angels are singing. I feel drawn. It feels up. It feels lighter. It feels floaty. And if I had one word for it, that would be love. Just love. Yeah. Angie, I experienced this through a meditation called, and I'll send you the link. It was by Sandra Walter, and it was called Christ Light Activation, I think, something like that. Something like that. I'll put it in the Facebook group. Does anyone have any questions about that? About the different levels of higher consciousness? Is anyone resonating with it?
So are we wanting to work towards being in Christ consciousness most of the time?
Yeah.
That would be lovely, wouldn't it? Yeah. So we want to take it with a grain of salt, right? Because if we're like striving and like, we just have to be in Christ consciousness all the time, then life will make sense. It's that there's something wrong with life again. So what's coming through now is in the heart. The more you come to the heart, the more you go to the heart, the more you stay in the heart, the more you choose the heart, then this will naturally like kind of filter out. The walls will start to dissolve. Yeah. But I did find it really interesting to see what else was available. I found it really fascinating because it was like, oh wow, there's that. I've never experienced that before. which makes you kind of, you know, similar to what you've experienced in prosperity consciousness. It's like, oh, wow, there's like a whole new way of living. Like, you don't have to work hard. You know, for me right now, it's about, like, I've moved through so much to, like, I'll give you an example. Last year I was I was terrified of not being on social media every day. I thought, if I'm not on there every day, my business is going to fall apart. No one's going to remember me. I'm going to get lost. I won't make money. But I was just so exhausted from being on social media. So I kind of went through this phase of just trusting. Trust. I don't have to post anything. You know. And so for me right now, it's about trusting that it's safe for me to spend more of my work time on writing and putting quality work together before I pump it out there. You know. And so I think this is just a natural progression of choosing what we want. You know, we just, like, in essence, we can choose in an instant to completely alter our reality. And, you know, and actually, to be honest, I've had experiences like that, and you may have had experiences like that, you know, and maybe part of this course has been like that for you. At the same time, you know, if we just keep opening more and more to see, oh, is it safe for me to just do the things that I want to do in the time that I have? Can I possibly say no to the self-sabotaging, or can I say no to other people and just say yes to me today, or for an extra half an hour? You know, and this is the value of staying in connection with our heart, with the earth, with the stars, in that divine union, where it is easier to find that choice, to find, I can see I could go down this path, or I could choose this higher path, you know, which is where we're really creating the reality that we desire. So we're not stuck in, nothing's ever going to change. I never had, you know, I caught myself the other day saying to my friend, she said, oh, that's a nice chair out in the backyard. And I said something like, oh, it'd be good if I had time to sit on it, you know, but I've created that. I keep saying no to myself. I keep choosing to do work, or choosing to stay busy, or choosing to do stuff with the kids, where it's a conscious choice. I'm going to stop doing what I'm doing, and I'm going to go sit on the chair.
Can I share something about the different consciousnesses? And I think you said this at the beginning as well, Bronte, about you know, we need as humans to have a tangible thing, like boxes, like we need to have steps, we need to see it like it's progressive. But I think there's like a danger in seeing it as steps, that it, like you said, you then aspire to the next level and aspire to the next level. And how I see it is that it's just simply that lotus flower that you said at the beginning, like it is, they're not separate things, it's all the same thing. They are not different energies, they're not different consciousnesses, like this one's here and this one's here and this one's here. It's all the same, it's just energy, because we are just a vibration. So it's nothing to do with needing to do anything to be in a different consciousness, and you're doing it every day. So even when we shared earlier and everyone was talking about that expansion in the heart, and at the moment it's stuck on a label that's prosperity consciousness. To me, you guys are already going into unity consciousness. That's unity consciousness, because the duality is falling away, you're becoming neutral. And so it's easy to feel like you're in a container of, oh, that experience fits to that particular consciousness level. But to me, like, we're all constantly going between Christ consciousness, unity consciousness, light consciousness, bloody call it what you want. Like it could be any consciousness. And there will be more too. Like Christ consciousness probably isn't even the highest vibration, or even that experience. Like there's probably way more to it than that. It's just we're so limited by our understanding because we're in this reality as a human being. But I think for me, like it's just like a consistent flow, like between all of it. Like it's just, and it's all in the heart space, and it's all within you too. It's not outside of you, like, oh, I've got to reach this stuff out here. It's all in the heart. And it's just about, as you said, you know, you open a little bit more and a little bit more, and you learn and you grow and you expand. And that's what these things are. They're not things. I don't know if I explained that very well, but that was kind of what I was feeling. That's how I feel it.
Yeah. No, I love it. And yeah, I resonate with everything that you're saying, Emily. Absolutely. I also think it's valid, you know, because all of these, the way I see it is that all of these consciousnesses, did we just make up this word today? That is a part of the whole, and it's valuable to, you know, and this is where we can use our brain, our mind, to decipher and differentiate. What's happening with my words today? And distinguish, so you can see it basically. And then we kind of want to take it with a grain of salt, right? We don't want to kind of go, oh, it's this and then this and then this. Yeah, because then we do get stuck in that. So it's basically with any spiritual concept, we want to hold gently and lightly, because, you know, that's just another belief system, really. And one of my teachers last year just shook, pretty much collapsed, Matt Nettleton Chan, you know Matt? He collapsed all of my, just in one conversation, he collapsed all of my spiritual concepts. And I was like, but no, I have a soul and she has a mission and whatever else at the time. And it just all dissolved, and it felt terrifying because I had nothing. There was nothing left. Everything was just rubble. And then I found my heart, and then I found my body, and then I experienced unity consciousness for a number of weeks, where I wasn't doing anything. There was nowhere to go, nothing to do. It was a pure awakening. Yeah. Cool. Any questions?
I've been feeling very, very, I think since our session together, I spent all weekend trying to get out of my head, keep going back to wanting to know and understand and have some control over the future, where I'm going and what's happening to me. And then by the end of the weekend, I was just like, it's a leap of faith. You've got to just stop thinking, because you told me that. And then I went back and just did what you told me not to do. Just get out of my, don't think about it too much. And but it seems like that's like the fallback to the unknown.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, to want to understand, and then I feel safe or something.
Absolutely, exactly. Yeah. And that's when the inner work is really powerful. You know, what if I don't know?
Mm. Yeah.
What comes up there? What if I will never know? And this is where I'm kind of really where I am. I'm even letting go of the needing to kind of search intuitively anymore. You know, just to be.
Mm.
Yeah, so yeah, it is scary to not know, right? It can bring up that story, I'm not safe.
Mm.
So we look at those words, I'm not safe. We say, they're words. Cool. Those words are so welcome. They're just welcome to be here. Thank you. Those words can be here. They're words. They're letters put together to make words. Ah, I can feel there's, sensations here and here. Right. You're so welcome. I'm totally allowed to be here. Yes. Yeah. And more and more and more and more and more of that every day. Yeah. Where this becomes a lifestyle. Yeah. So the more that we go toward the sensations, the more present and free we are. Does that make sense, Joanna?
Yeah, sorry, my son's trying to have a conversation with me at the same time.
Oh, yeah. Well done. Hello. Oh,
Yes, sorry, I'm trying not to have him be too noisy. Yes, it does make sense, and it's a process. Yeah.
yeah. And it's also a remembering, oh, we're human. That's right.
Yeah.
We're all in the mess. We do escape. We want to escape. We want to find the answers. And we let ourselves want to find the answers. We let ourselves be in the escaping. The more, because then we can escaping. Try and escaping. The more that we allow ourselves, yes, I'm trying to escape. Yeah. So, yeah, I just want you to know that, I'm not present every day. I'm not present in every single moment of the day. This is a constant practice for every single person on the planet, even the enlightened ones. There's just a constant more. Yeah. So we don't ever arrive. I have had experiences where I've felt like I've arrived. And it doesn't last. Yeah. So Angie, can you please explain again using the light codes? Yeah. How to use the light codes, do you mean? Yep. Cool. Really, totally, definitely need to make a video on this. I say so many times in my sessions. So the light code, it is emitting a vibration. So when you put it in your room, it's affecting the energy in the room, and it's affecting your energy. It's like if you sprayed some perfume, if kind of feeling like the perfume wouldn't reach the whole room is like saying that the light code, having the light code in the room wouldn't. I didn't say that right at all. Having a light code in the room and not affecting that room is like saying when you spray perfume, the scent isn't going to reach the whole room. So basically what I'm saying is having that light code is affecting the energy in the room. It can be used as an oracle, so as an oracle card. So you can use it as a journaling piece. So you can, just similar to what you do with an oracle card, you'll be taken to a particular part of the card. Let yourself be guided to a particular part of the code. And maybe you'd like to, draw some of the light code on your journal and then start decoding it. So you're decoding parts of the code, and they will be personalized to your energy and your needs and your messages. It can't not be your messages because it's coming through you and your own heart's intelligence. journaling may not be your thing. Maybe, you know, I find that I get a lot of information when I voice record, or I'll put myself on a Zoom call and I'll record it. That's how I channel information. You can, you know, if you're an energy worker, if you're used to working with energy through your hands, you can start, or even if you're not, it doesn't matter. You can start to work with the energy in your hands and put your hand over the code. So you're working with it, and perhaps you're doing funny things with your hands, which is light language. So what you're doing is you're activating the prosperity consciousness code in your field. So there are infinite codes that, let's just say, there are prosperity codes within your field that are speaking to this code on paper. So by you engaging with, connecting, meditating, working with your hands, you know, if you feel like doing funny things around your body, you know, this is all a clearing, and then you'll receive information through your different clairs: claircognizance, clairsentience, clairaudience, clairvoyance, you know, around what you're actually doing.
Mm-hmm. I have used it for journaling, hearing and writing, but I actually got the language come through one or a couple of times I used it, which is pretty cool because I'm hearing you talk, which was pretty exciting. But I didn't know the full extent of how to use it to my best advantage. So that's good. Thank you.
Yeah. No, you're welcome. Yeah, that's bloody exciting. It's so exciting. And it's a natural progression, and that will be a part of the Light Intelligence course, to really bring your own light language through and your own channeling of your light codes as well. Just trying to think, is there anything else, any other way, if anyone else wants to jump on and share how they've used their light codes. You can meditate with it as well. So you can, put it down, sit down and just ask, just command. I ask for the information and the energy to come, that's coming from the code, that is for my highest good, to come through me. So I'm receiving these messages with clarity.
Yeah. So the light code, would that help me to connect with animal spirits, or even help clarity with my readings?
This particular light code?
Yeah.
Of course it can. I mean, because you could use anything to receive those messages. You could use this, you could use a pen, you could use a picture outside, you could use a speck of dust.
It's all coming through from the same, isn't it?
It's not coming from the thing, is it?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but it is helpful to have, this is where it comes back to what we were saying about the different levels, having labels, having things, having something tangible. It is helpful to have a tangible thing, It's helpful to have a pen and paper receiving information. So if that works for you, then you go with it. So you can you can get messages from there. If you just state, what are the messages from the animals right now, then you can get it from there. Or perhaps, Angie, why don't you try this? Start now just to command. I ask for my own light code that will support me to bring through the messages from the animals. Close your eyes. If you don't feel comfortable with this, and if you want further training in this, then join the Light Intelligence course. But, it can be this simple, right? anchoring, grounding, heart space. I ask, I command that I see the light code that will support me to receive clear communication from the animals. Okay, when you do that, you might see a triangle. So you put the triangle down on paper. Close your eyes. You might see a dot in the triangle. Put it down. You know, it doesn't have to be this extravagant code. It just starts small.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
No worries.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So is it the same for your own personal light code? Does that have a different purpose? So if you have your own, yeah, so you're talking about the one that you had? Yeah. So does it, sorry. Yeah, I would go with that more. Yeah, because that's more kind of general, right? And but at the same time, it's more personalized to you. So so this code is specific to activating your understanding of prosperity consciousness on an experiential level. But yes, absolutely, Joanna, you've received your own light code, personalized to you. So you can, the world is your oyster. That can be your mirror for what you want, for what you want to know. So you just put every question that you have to that code. Yeah. And you're just having the code, which is on its way. You know, if you have it out next to you, it's a part of your altar, then it's really, if you kind of, to me, it's like shining golden light out of it. You know, it's that potent. Yeah. Does anyone else have any other questions around that? So in Light Intelligence, you will be learning. Some of you are working with me one-on-one through the Freedom Mentorship or the Unity Mentorship, and you will get those for free. You will get the Light Intelligence for free. But yeah, for everyone who joins Light Intelligence, you will be learning how to channel your own light codes and accessing light language. Okay, now just going to check out my notes here and see what else wants to come through. And I can't see you, so I'm just going to speak without looking at you just for a moment. Actually, no, I'm just going to put this in here. Copy and paste so I can see you at the same time. Yeah, cool. So hopefully this course has helped you to be more aware of the poverty consciousness stories, and remembering that that's worth celebrating. So that's a part of the process. It's like, yes, the more you celebrate, it's like, the more you're arriving in that unity. Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to check on how the simple inquiry was going and whether you were interested in learning a couple more techniques to support you to unhook the stories.
Sure.
Yeah? Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to take you to straight back up to simple inquiry, and we're going to go through fairly briefly focus shifting and tracking. So let's start with tracking first. So this is where you've got a story that's come up, you know, maybe it's like, but I don't have time for that. And perhaps you'd like to use a mining question like, what would it, but if it, okay, let's just go back. So if the story that I've told myself is, but I don't have time for that, right? And then I might ask myself to go a little bit deeper. I might say, what's the worst thing that could happen if I gave myself that time? What came up for me is I'll be alone. It sounds crazy, doesn't it? When we give ourselves the time that we want. There's a fear of being alone. So it's like there's a utility. I'm getting something out of being busy because then I'm with people and then I feel safe. But I'm actually craving solitude, but I'm also scared of solitude because then I'll be alone. So then let's say we're looking at the words, I'll be alone. And if you've got words here, then use your words. So let's pretend that you've got words up and let's use I'll be alone if you don't have any words. And tracking is when you are looking at the words, allowing, welcoming. You're just looking at these words. You're realizing, they're words. I'm looking at words. I'm looking at each individual letter, looking at the space that's all around each letter, to the left, to the right, up and below. And tracking is where you start shifting your awareness to your finger. So you just start doing, just random patterns with your finger, and you're following your finger. Or you can do it slowly. And then when you're ready, you're putting your finger down, and then you're looking back at the words, and you might have your eyes closed, or you might be looking at the wall with those words on them. Okay, now I can just see the word I. Okay, so I'm looking at the word I, allowing, breathing, welcoming, thanking, looking at the I, looking at all parts of I. And then when I'm ready, I bring my finger in. So I'm tracking, looking at my finger in all directions. When I'm ready, I look back. Okay, so there's just the bottom section of the I that's left. So I'm welcoming, loving, thanking, you're welcome to stay as long as you like. That's gone. So tracking is where you're looking at the words and then you're shifting your awareness to your moving finger. It's just helping you to unhook from the words. Does that make sense? And then once the words have gone, take a deep breath. And then come into the body and be with the sensation in the body. And it's just a sensation. There's no fear of being alone. It's just a sensation. And if there is if there is still remaining a story about a fear of being alone, then you put those words and pictures up on the screen in front of you. Does anyone have any questions about tracking? Little hands. All right. Are we ready? Is everyone ready for focus shifting now? Yep, so it's another technique to unhook the words. At the same time, we're not trying to get rid of these words. So this is not our agenda. We're not, because when we're trying to get rid of words, the words will stay there. So we're just resting in this technique without any resistance. So we put our metaphysical hands up. Let's pretend we've got the words up. I'm going to close my eyes for this one. So we'll take these words, I'll be alone, except they have just absolutely no charge for me right now. So I'll just see if I can bring something up that's a bit more relevant. Okay, so I'm just looking at time. Okay, so I've got a story around what if I waste time? So if I give myself more time, what if I waste it? I'll waste time. So the words are I'll waste time. I'll waste time. Okay, so I'm just looking at the words, looking at each individual word, looking at the space that's around the words, looking at each individual letter. I'll waste time. So I can see them there. I can start to breathe in as I look at the words and breathe out on the space. And now focus shifting is where you put your either metaphysical hands, so imaginary hands, or you can put your physical hands up. And as you breathe in, you look at the words. And as you breathe out, you put your attention on the space to the left-hand side of your left hand. So there's space right there. There's nothing there. There's no words there. Then breathing in, looking back at the words. So waste is kind of getting a bit hazy. I can see I'll and time a bit more strongly. Okay, and then as I breathe out, I'm looking at the space to the right-hand side of my right hand. Breathing in, coming back to the words. Waste is pretty much gone. Most of time I can see the T, and I've got the L. Got the L and the T. So I'm looking, breathing in. Breathing out as I look at the space to the left-hand side of my left hand. Breathing in, looking back at the words to see all the letters. The T is gone, the L is dissolving, the sense of it there, and it's on its way out. It's more of a sense that it's there, and I can't see it now. So you're just going, you're breathing in, looking at the words, breathing out with the space, which is here, just on the outside of your hand, there. Breathing in, looking at the words, breathing out on the space, it's here. Every time you look back in, you just check, oh, what's here now? That might be the whole word, all words, just allowing, welcoming. So welcome to stay as long as you like. Does that make sense? Any questions? And if you do any part of that inner work, it's to be with the sensation in the body. It's the bit you just don't skip. It's the most important piece. Okay. Yep. So these practices, it's less about trying to get rid of things, because, you know, then we're striving again, we're trying to change life. It's more about allowing. We let those words be here for as long as they want to be. The more that we slow down, the more that we relax, the more that we surrender, the more that we say yes to our heart, the more our heart expands, and then we're experiencing a higher state of consciousness. But then we don't want the higher state of consciousness to be our goal. So it's good that really we hold it really gently, because we are it, right? We're not separate from it. It's in the undoing, the less striving, and the less making things happen that makes things change and shifts your consciousness. Go to the heart. Love your poverty stories and allow them. Some more information came out of the code this morning. So the TP in the code is a universal symbol for going within. So well done you for all going within. It's that power, it's that shelter, you know, it's safe to go within. It's that protection. Hey Finn. Hello. It's that power, grounding, anchoring into your power center as you go within. That's what the TP is in the code. And the other interesting to what because this is what we've been talking about in this call, that circle at the top of the code with the language inside and the symbols inside, that's in your heart space. But it was brought up outside of you, and it was kind of put on in a spotlight for you to see. So this is the value of having it's the value of having a light code, because you can see the codes that you are. So this circle of coding that is at the top of the prosperity code is in your heart space, but it's almost like Spirit wanted to bring it out so you could see it, so you could know it, but it's in your heart. Does that make sense? So it's so you can see it. It's because when you are it, it's hard to see it. It's like, where has it gone? It's like we're looking for ourselves. But when it's brought out as a separate thing, then we can see it and know it. And then it's a process of embodying it, which is through the allowing. Okay, Hannah, so sorry guys, my son has lost patience. I'll have to go now. Thanks so much, Bronte and Circle Sisters. Much love. Beautiful. Replacing our mind space, yeah, instead of our heart space, is that right? Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so the circle of language is in your heart space and it's brought out so you can see what you are using duality. So this is the value of duality, right? Cool. All right, I think I have gotten through everything that I'd like to. I haven't really given you much detail about light intelligence, but I think maybe I'll come in and do a live on that. And I do have a little survey. It has 4 questions. And if you're willing to do that, then I can give you a really healthy discount for light intelligence, just so I can support, I can help this program be better, improve it for next time, but make it be as good as it can be. And also I just love to hear in writing, I guess. I'd like to read what you found valuable in this course. And also, you know, you've got me for the next 2 weeks. So if anything more lands in the next 2 weeks, or if things aren't landing, you've still got me for the next 2 weeks. Thanks, Angie. That's wonderful. Yeah, so written testimonials are helpful, valuable. Hello. Getting sidetracked. Sorry, Finn. Sorry, everyone else. Finn, you're grabbing my attention. But you're so welcome to do that. Yeah. I can't even remember what I was saying. Basically, if you'd like to give me feedback. Oh, yeah. And then if, you know, because you've all shared some beautiful value that you received in the calls as well. So please let me know if you don't want me to share any of what you have shared outside of the course. Which is particularly the parts that have really kind of shifted things for you. Awesome, Stella. Thank you. Very good. Cool. All right. Thank you, lovelies.
Thank you, Bronte. That was pretty amazing.
Good.
Thank
Awesome.
you so much.
You're welcome.
It was great.
Thanks, Bronte.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hopefully we'll see your faces again.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
None of us are going anywhere. I'm sure we'll meet again elsewhere.
Yeah.
In the perfect place.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Let's close our space. Just closing your eyes when you're ready. And finding your heart space. And finding the earth. Finding the stars, the spirit around you. Giving thanks to yourself for saying yes to you. Remembering and realizing more of who and what you are. So you know what's available to you in your life, in your everyday. And giving thanks to each other for holding this sacred space in connection with this whole consciousness. Giving gratitude to the energies that have supported us and opening our hearts to ourselves and each other and everybody else. Deepening your breath and coming back when you're ready. Thanks, lovelies. I will be in the Facebook group and I'll give you some more information soon about light intelligence, and I'll send you an email with the survey questions as well. There's about 4.
Okay.
Have a beautiful day.
You too.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye,
See you,
everyone.
everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Bronte.
Bye.
Bye.